If there's one thing I've learned as a gardener, it's this. Earthworms are the secret workers who make soil come alive. Every time I dig into my garden and find a wriggling crowd of them, I know the soil is healthy, fertile, and ready to grow strong plants. But here's the fun part. There's one weird thing I bury that turns my garden into a worm battleground. The moment I discovered this trick, I started seeing more earthworms than ever before, and the results showed in my harvests. Before we get to the weird thing, let's remind ourselves why earthworms are such game changers. Worms aren't just slimy creatures living underground, they're soil engineers. Every tunnel they create brings air and water deep into the soil, helping plant roots grow stronger. That's where my worm magnet trick comes in. The weird thing, I bury overripe bananas. Yes, you read that right, bananas. Not just any bananas though. I'm talking about those brown-spotted, mushy, nearly forgotten ones sitting on your counter. When I first tried this, I thought I'd just toss a banana peel here or there, and sure enough, worms showed up. But over time, I learned a few tricks to make it work even better. Here's my method. I dig a small hole about 6 to 8 inches deep in the garden bed. Some gardeners ask me if you need the whole banana or just the peel. In my experience, both work, but the whole banana breaks down faster and attracts more worms because it has more sugars and moisture. Peels alone still do the trick, especially if you've got several to spread around. If you're worried about waste or pests, try chopping peels into small pieces before burying them. This speeds up decomposition and gives worms easier access. Here's where it gets exciting. Every time worms feed on these buried bananas, they leave behind castings rich in nutrients. It's like getting a double benefit. The banana itself enriches the soil as it decomposes, and the worms amplify the effect with their castings. I've noticed my tomato plants, peppers, and leafy greens growing stronger and looking greener in beds where I've buried bananas. The soil becomes darker, richer, and looser. Exactly what every gardener dreams of. While bananas are my go-to worm magnet, there are other kitchen scraps that work wonders too. Think of coffee grounds, watermelon rinds, pumpkin shells, and even old lettuce. But here's the catch. Not all foods are worm-friendly. Avoid onions, garlic, citrus, or anything too salty or oily, as these can harm worms or make the soil too acidic. Still, in all my experiments, bananas remain the champion. Nothing attracts worms quite as quickly. Before you run off to bury an entire bunch of bananas in one hole, here's a tip: spread it out. Too much organic matter in one spot can rot anaerobically, which means without air, and that can lead to bad smells or even attract the wrong kind of pests. I usually bury one banana every few feet in my garden beds. That way, worms spread out across the entire area instead of clustering in one spot. This also ensures even distribution of nutrients. If you're a beginner gardener, this trick is an easy, no-cost way to boost soil health and attract earthworms without complicated composting setups. For experienced gardeners, it's a quick hack that complements other soil building practices like cover cropping or composting. No matter your level, the goal is the same: create a thriving underground ecosystem where worms do the hard work for you. And trust me, when you start seeing those wriggly crowds under your mulch, you'll know it's working. Every time I bury a banana and later peek under the soil, I'm reminded of how nature rewards simple efforts. Something as ordinary as a piece of fruit waste can turn into a magnet for earthworms, the unsung heroes of gardening. It's not about fancy fertilizers or expensive soil amendments. It's about working with nature. When you give worms what they love, they'll repay you by transforming your soil into a rich, living foundation for healthy plants. So next time you've got an overripe banana, don't toss it. Bury it. Watch as worms fight over it and see the difference it makes in your garden. If you found this tip helpful, imagine what else we can grow together. On my YouTube channel, Soil Power, I share hands-on gardening hacks, soil secrets, and natural ways to boost your garden's health. Subscribe today, share this article with fellow gardeners, and let's keep building powerful soil, one banana at a time.